Last year alone, EXP instituted 3 programs that is absolutely giving more back to the agents. Oh, but last year was a crazy year in the real estate industry. There was commission lawsuits, the market was down, the interest rates were high. But yet, why is EXP giving more back to the agents when most brokerages are pulling back, raising their splits, raising their fees? We break that all down and more next. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane with EXP Realty and the Real Estate Agent Playbook, breaking down all things real estate. Today, we're talking about my brokerage, EXP, the vehicle that helps me build wealth and hopefully has an exit strategy involved. I do have all kinds of content, both on the podcast and YouTube, of all things real estate, a lot of strategies, tips and tricks, and insights that I provide, help agents across the country absolutely level up their game. If you would be interested in booking a call with me, there's a free realtor game plan call. We don't have to talk one thing about EXP if you don't want to go over certain parts or aspects of your business. So I can't wait to meet you there. If not, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd be happy to get you to know you through all the social media channels. Both Instagram and YouTube are very active with the RE Agent Playbook. All right, so let's kind of dive into this. And, let's preface this by understanding that the real estate industry is kind of in turmoil, right? We have the buyer agent commissions, something that may or will change the industry forever. We're just worried about waiting on those rules. What are those rules that are going to come to us? When those rules come down, we will absolutely play by the rules and absolutely crush it. And I'm not too concerned about all the exodus, the mass exodus, and real estate agents not being able to make any money, because I'm all about providing value to my clients. However, the real estate brokerage model has definitely come under fire as we continue to see, our commissions decrease and all of those things, or maybe increase. I don't know. But people are really talking about these brokerage models and what it's going to look like moving forward. And the one thing that EXP, amidst other brokerages that have gone down that same cloud-based route, they eliminated a ton of overhead. Therefore, they're able to be more flexible with their commission structures as we move forward. Now, even those cloud-based brokerages that have come along after EXP, most of them changed their brokerage model in some way, shape, or form, taking more money away from the agent in order to sustain their model, right? EXP, I've been here 2.5 years and they have not done that, right? We are at a critical mass of 90,000 agents where that hasn't come into play. And so understanding that and understanding the growing pains that happen from 10,000 agents to 90,000 agents, and when you're making a brokerage decision based on, leaving a traditional brokerage in one of these cloud-based brokerages, you have to really step back and think, is the early adopter thing really that big of a deal? Well, if you say yes, I'm here to tell you that EXP has visions to go to 500,000 agents in the next 5 to 10 years. 90,000 is still somewhat of an early adopter, right? However, these smaller brokerages that are up and coming, have great models, have great incentives. I'm not here to bash any brokerages. They have a lot of growing pains to do. And while the industry, changed just a little bit in the shift from 22 to 23, they pulled back a little bit, right? And not all of them did, but most of them did, where EXP in 2023 added 3 programs that I absolutely want to explain to you. The first was the Accelerate program. This was for individual agents that came into the brokerage. They were allowed for 12 months to unlock their first 3 tiers of their revenue share, meaning that if one agent came in and their small boutique brokerage came in under them and they brought, 6 agents, and then those 6 agents got another 3 agents, that initiating broker, or real estate agent that came in, would have all 3 tiers open in their revenue share while they were building FLQAs, qualifying agents on that first tier in order to open those additional tiers, right? And we can talk a little bit about that first. A lot of other agencies talk about, you have to have agents that are qualifying. Well, a qualifying agent is an agent that does $5,000 in GCI every 6 months. Well, let's step back and be real here. If you have agents that you're sponsoring that aren't doing one deal every 6 months in 90% of the markets, then there's no revenue share coming from them anyways. So understand that the FLQA standard is very low, but a lot of the other agencies, I've heard it a ton, point out and say, hey, well, you have to actually, have agents under you that are producing. Well, the truth is that there's no revenue share model at any brokerage if there's not agents under you producing. And it's not that high of a task at EXP to get there. However, they allowed for 12 months to get a runway for these agents that are coming over that are, to incentivize them to help grow the brokerage. They're unlocking those first 3 tiers. Again, giving more money back to that agent, because EXP does retain the money. If you don't have level 2 open, they retain a large portion of that revenue share if you don't have 5 qualifying agents. That all goes away for the first year. Tiers 1, 2, and 3 are open. So an absolutely amazing opportunity. EXP giving money yet again back to the agents in kind of the market turmoil. So if you are an agent that's considering making a move, a solo agent, definitely reach out to me and we can talk about if this Accelerate program would benefit you. Because if you're looking to kind of build an exit strategy and bring some agents on, maybe you're a collaborative agent like I was, we can absolutely launch your career in the first 12 months you're at EXP and give you that runway to gain qualifying agents to unlock those tiers permanently, as long as you hit the minimum requirements. Now let's talk about the Boost program. The Boost program is for independent brokerages, non-franchise brokerages that are looking to come over. They have to have a certain number of agents with a certain number of volume done, but the Boost program absolutely will tailor a model to you to provide some incentives for you as the broker to come over and bring those agents. You have to be culturally aligned with EXP and so on, but they are offering usually equity incentives for agents to come over who have that brokerage model built out. And this is something it's not really streamlined. It's definitely something that we would get you in contact with the growth team, because moving a brokerage over is an absolutely massive undertaking, not to mention, closing up shop and doing all of the things. But EXP is dedicated to partner with these independent brokerages. Now, one thing about this that I've, thought about a little bit is what happens if one of those, small to medium brokerages, independent brokerages, gets named in one of the lawsuits? They don't even have the firepower to defend that piece, let alone, go to trial and hopefully, win that trial. So, with all these lawsuits flying around and sellers doing all the things and kind of copycat that, you could find yourself as, an independent broker in some hot water where, at EXP, you bringing your brokerage over, you're allowed to, maintain your identity. You're allowed to remove some of those hats and some of the liabilities, because that goes over to the EXP Realty, brokerage team, and you can still thrive in your business. And oh yeah, as a managing broker, you could also build quite a lucrative exit strategy especially in accordance with this Boost program that EXP is incentivizing certain levels of brokerages to move over. So if you're a managing broker and your P&L, you're looking at your P&L because you're doing your taxes, or you just know where it's at and it's not quite where you want it to be, there is other opportunities, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to sell my brokerage. Selling your brokerage and exiting is a very uncommon thing to do. So this Boost program could be just the thing that'll push the incentive for you to bring your brokerage over and essentially give you an exit strategy a lot quicker than you might envision where you're currently at. So if you're interested and you're an independent broker and you're a managing broker and you're looking at this and you're scratching your head and you're kind of just tired of the headaches, not from the scratching, but from, real life and happening, you can absolutely reach out. Please book a call in the link below, or go to the reagentwolfpack.com, reagentwolfpack.com, and book a call, and we can chat all about that and talk about exactly what you're looking at. All right. Well, you thought EXP was done. They had the big brokerages. They had the agents that were inspired to grow the program, and they just weren't. They brought out Thrive, which is a program that incentivizes team leads to come over to the company amidst all of this turmoil that's going on in the industry. And so what the Thrive program is, and we can definitely go into this in detail, based on your situation, on a private call. But the Thrive program is, if you were a team lead, essentially all the company dollar that you would have, put into EXP had you been there the previous 12 months based on that 12-month production, EXP is offering you in equity ownership that will vest after 3 years of being at the company. So an absolutely massive opportunity to, if you were a little bit late to the party and you're thinking about it and you just didn't pull the trigger and now you're in this situation, you're like, man, I really wish I would have, I'm here. Well, EXP is going to basically act like you were here, and all the company dollar that was, would have been put into EXP is going to be offered to you as an incentive for your team, as an equity ownership opportunity for you as the team lead. So all of these things, there's a ton of information here and a ton of data, but I just wanted to bring to the forefront these 3 programs. Again, that's the Accelerate, the Thrive, and the Boost. And it's absolutely intended to help EXP continue to flourish in, this industry turmoil. And there's all kinds of options when it comes to a brokerage model, right? And this is just the EXP piece that I've talked about. This is industry company-wide that EXP is offering, not to mention all of the value adds and all of the assistance in marketing and branding and investment training, systems, processes, time management that we offer here at the Wolfpack. So I would be happy to have a conversation, a private conversation. Listen, EXP is not for everybody, but I legitimately wake up every single morning wondering why more and more people aren't considering it. And a lot of times it's because who they were, initially introduced the model by just rubbed them the wrong way and so on. And this was a very informational, video, but we just want to fill, and I especially want to fill my downline with industry partners that I align with, that we're all looking to do the same thing. We provide an ultimate experience for our clients, but also have a nurturing culture within our group that only levels up each other as we go. Whether we're in the same market across the country, it's absolutely my goal to have that type of culture where, we're like family, everyone's helping everyone, sharing ideas, and helping our businesses grow. And absolutely, these 3 programs that EXP released are absolutely incredible considering, the volume decreases that we saw, nationwide in the real estate industry. So if you have any questions like that, or you just want to talk real estate, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this episode with anybody who's, asked you about EXP or is talking, about making a switch to EXP, and I'd be forever grateful. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.